So if I could go back to when I first started, I would say to myself, have faith in your abilities and have faith in the creativity and the excellence of the faculty. It will all work out. All of us came from practice. We were not academicians. We had never taught courses before. So we were brand new, we were green, and of course we were not tenured. You absolutely have to develop a tenured cohort of faculty for the program's longevity and excellence. And we did do that. The director who hired me left at the end of that year, went out of state, leaving us without any leadership. Then, not too long after that, the provost was looking for ways to cut programs to save money, and he was going to cut OT and PT. We asked practitioners in the community to write letters to him, and they did, and it worked. I mean, accreditation is an ongoing process. It has to be done periodically. While I was director, we went through 2 accreditations, and each time it changed. And so we had to retool, we had to think. And then, of course, we went from a bachelor's degree to a master's degree, and now recently to a clinical doctorate program. There were many things I was proud of. I was proud of our students. Our students would go out on fieldwork. That's a required part of the curriculum for all OT programs. And the reports we got back were our students were superior to students from other programs. That made me proud. I was proud of the faculty we hired. I was proud that 4 of the faculty achieved tenure while I was director. Not only are our faculty excellent, they care about the work that they do and they care about the students and show that. The faculty in the program take seriously that the city is our lab. We take full advantage of that. So the faculty and the students work with the community to educate students. The students have all these community experiences that are not common in other OT programs. And I'll tell you, that really makes a difference in their education for them starting their careers in this field. The community benefits from that. The faculty and the students benefit from that. The occupational therapy program was my home away from home. We treated each other and felt like we were family, the faculty, the staff, and the students. It was a very supportive environment. We all supported each other. We actually watched our kids grow together. People brought their kids in all the time, both faculty and students, and they were welcome here. I did not take it for granted at all that the students genuinely wanted the faculty and staff at their parties and celebrations, and we always had a great time with them.
I have really 3 memorable experiences, and it's hard to say which one was most. Number 1 was getting my doctorate, 5 years at Kent State. Result of the doctorate was to develop a computer lab at Cleveland State for students with disabilities. And that was a very personally gratifying experience and gratifying result for the students with disabilities, for our occupational therapy students who could study these adaptations, and for the university at large and the library. The second one was our transition from bachelor's to master's degree. It was a very educational experience as far as the politics. No one understood professional master's degrees at the time, and so it was very challenging and rewarding when we finally succeeded. And the last one was when we transitioned from 30 students to 45 students. We lost faculty, and then they didn't replace them, so we were down faculty and up 50% in the number of students that we were seeing. And we made it work with the 45 students, new facilities, new equipment, and larger classrooms, obviously. And we were one of the last programs to transition from bachelor's to master's, and the pressure was on. When we transitioned the first couple years, we had 5 faculty and 6 students. And so we had to teach in other programs for a couple of years until we built up our class size. And the program quickly grew from 6 students to 400 applications for 30 spots. The master's degree was now required of every occupational therapist. The need for occupational therapists continued to be great after that little blip in 1995. We had several program transitions. We went from quarters to semesters, and that was a programming nightmare. And the other one was, of course, when we went from 30 to 45 students. There was a lot of changes, and we had to add lab sections, because how do you ensure that your students are going to safely transfer your grandmother from the wheelchair to the bed when there's 45 of them to evaluate? So we had to make the lab classes smaller. And of course, that meant teachers had fewer preparations, which was actually kind of a benefit. If you're teaching 3 sections of lab, well, then you didn't have to teach as many different classes. And so in some ways, the teachers could prepare better for their area of expertise and not have to teach things that were kind of a stretch for them. Medicare changes, reimbursement changes, and those changes come rapidly, and every year something different. When I went to school, we had 3 textbooks for the entire program. And now faculty had to choose between 6 textbooks for every class. And you know how expensive that got for the students, and which textbooks did we really need? So I thought the faculty did a really good job of coordinating, and we limited the number of textbooks that the students had to buy by coordinating, well, what book are you using for your class? And can I use chapters from that book for my class? So there was a lot of hard work among the faculty to keep it affordable for students. Honestly, I thought our program prepared students for the actual practice much better than really any program in Ohio. All of the faculty were very dedicated to the practice of occupational therapy, and most of them practiced while they were teaching, and that was important. The faculty made the program stand out. Friendships, the collaboration. Many departments at Cleveland State, the faculty didn't get along. And we had the most collaborative, caring, and dedicated faculty who cared for each other as well as cared for the students. Those were the thoughts that came to my mind, is all about the people.
The job of transitioning the program from a master's level to a doctoral level is probably the biggest achievement and most memorable experience that I had. A lot of the actual implementation started right at the pandemic. And so we were running both the master's program and the doctoral program simultaneously during the pandemic. We did 2 accreditations within 5 years. Normally, you do 1 reaccreditation every 10. So we were really busy, not only just developing this new program, but making sure we got accreditation so that our students could actually graduate from an accredited program. So we had ideas, we had syllabi, we had content, but as we were creating new courses, we had to add to that to give them much more substance than what we did when we were initially going through the approval process. And so the faculty were teaching master's courses and then doctoral courses. And so that was a lot of work for everybody. Our national accrediting body put out a mandate that all master's programs had to transition to the doctoral programs. When we got through the process, though, our national accreditor said, you know what, we're not going to make everybody do this anymore. We're going to allow programs that offer a master's program or a doctoral program. And so we were so far into the process at that point, we decided to move forward. We had the support, really wonderful support of the Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, who's now our provost. We revised the courses to make them higher level, but we added just 1 semester longer for the doctoral because we felt like we should be giving the students the degree that they deserve. So they have to develop a capstone project and experience that takes a whole semester long to complete. But the process of developing it takes multiple semesters. So they have to write a full proposal and things like that. and they have to work with a community partner. They're really coming out with more in-depth experience and a topic that they want to learn more about. They're learning how to work appropriately with a community partner. When we were a master's program, our students always did really well passing the national exam. So we're just starting to see what some of those outcomes are now, because our first class graduated in 2023. But the students that did graduate in 2023, 100% passed the national exam. So that's pretty darn good. Our master's program was like that too, though. So we've always produced really good students, really strong students. And then students are finding jobs, and some of their capstone sites are actually hiring them. So they're creating new job opportunities that are outside the norm. So I was chair of the department for only 2 years. So when the university did their reorganization of colleges, they created a College of Health. We have our own department now, rather than being within a larger school of health sciences. But there was a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that infrastructure was created, and it really gave us an opportunity, OT, to have a voice directly to the dean and also to the provost, because the provost meets monthly with chairs. We've always had such a good, strong program and really passionate faculty. And so we continue to have really passionate faculty. One of the things when I became program director and chair is I sort of felt like OT, our program, didn't get enough attention. And as OTs, we don't typically like to brag about ourselves, right? But I really went on a binge, I would say, to nominate faculty and students for awards. And some of the faculty nominated each other or students as well. So I encourage people to do that. I think that's how you get the word out. Our program has always been very strong in terms of using a public health approach to mental health. We have students working with imprisoned women. We have students working with veterans. We have students working with older adults, young adults with developmental disabilities, all focusing on mental health promotion. The biggest unique feature of our program are all the community programs that we have and offer through service learning and our wonderful partnerships that we have with the community. Again, the electives. So not all OT programs require electives. So our electives allow our students to learn more about mental health promotion. They allow our students to earn certificates in school-based practice, which, by the way, is really valued by employers. They can earn a certificate in gerontology. They can learn more about culture and healthcare, or health disparities, or women's health, or research. Whatever they're interested in learning more about, they have 2 electives that they can take to explore those areas more. As far as I know, I think that's relatively unique. Well, I've been at CSU for 30 years. I just retired. It's been just an honor to work with the faculty that I've worked with over the years and with the students. It's so fun to watch students enter our program and watch them develop throughout the program into these wonderful practitioners that I'm very proud to say that they're CSU alums. I'm a CSU alum. I went to the OT program and graduated in 1985 from CSU OT program. So, I'm all about CSU, I'm all about our program, and I think we need to get the word out to tell everybody how great we are.